I know that JVN's also on here as well. So really quickly, you guys, do not, maybe write this down. Maybe everyone put a note to yourself. Do not push the payment button more than one time,
Now, hold
please.
on, before we jump into that, because I know we have some new folks. Sorry, Tony.
Yes.
So, let me, if you can pull up myvibe.io, because we had our payment system roll out and hundreds of people did a phenomenal job, right? It's more simple than Amazon to pay. It's simple, right? You choose your product that you want. So, for those of you guys who are not tech savvy and you don't want to use our credit cards that actually buy crypto on the back end, or you don't want to use cryptocurrency, you don't have to, right? You can do debit card payments. And remember, I told you guys that's where that's how you know that we are going to fast forward really quickly. That was the one thing that we were waiting for, is traditional credit cards. And what we found is that if you just go through the process and you follow the steps, it's simple. It's as simple as you using a credit card anywhere. Okay. Now, just like on any credit card payment system, it'll say don't push the button more than once. Don't leave the page. I know some people, it was just maybe two people um, push the button multiple times, and it's going to charge you multiple times. And we are working on that. But it'll all be taken care of. No worries. But just remember, just like on any payment system, it's going to say, do not leave this screen. Do Maybe some of you guys may want to call your banks first because you have fraud protection on. And I used to work at the bank for many years. And if you have fraud protection, it might block you. Don't freak out. Call your bank, call the fraud department and say, hey, allow this payment to go through. All the steps are on VibeBucks debit card payment steps. A lot of people who went through the process with ease read those steps. Some people are jumping ahead and they tend to have support issues all the time, right? We know some of you guys' names. We love you though. We love you to pieces, but support shouldn't know your name. So sometimes it's just tech. You're getting excited and I get it and you don't want to miss out. Push the button once. If you do have an issue, send a support ticket from your back office and be very clear on what happened. Don't say, my payment didn't go through, right? Because 99.9% of the issues that we found are, um, human error. It's human error. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't push the back button. If you guys are in, if you can scroll down, Tony, because this is more of a update call. Get inside of the telegrams, please, and make sure you get your teams in there because we post things daily. Like, don't talk to people on Telegram if they try to message you privately. We are going to have our own system, which I'm super excited about, our own communication system, where we're all communicating from an encryptic communication platform, and we won't be on Telegram. Right? That is just for pre-launch. So if somebody does reach out to you on Telegram, promise you it is not going to be it's not going to be Johnny. Everybody loves Johnny for some reason. I love him too. I get it. You guys hear certain leaders' names all the time. So of course, the people on Telegram are listening in as well. And trust and believe Johnny's not going to reach out to you on Telegram. Nobody from our team will. Okay. So if you do have a question, you can send a support ticket. We have a phenomenal support team who are coached and trained, and no support ticket has gone beyond 72 hours. Right. So again, if you do have some kind of issue, remember during pre-launch, our focus is to beta test our system. That's the only reason why we're allowing leaders, everybody type leader in the chat. We're allowing leaders to get in early. That's pre-launch, right? We want you guys to get in early. I can see all of you guys' messages, so go ahead and message away. But we're allowing leaders to get in early because when the masses come, or when the other thousands of people wake up who maybe they're doing other things right now, maybe they don't believe we're going to get off the ground. Well, they only have a few 72 hours or less to pay their memberships If they're choosing a pro or a legend, if they're choosing an Elevate membership, just remember that does not put you into the legacy network right away. It's only 40 points. So just kind of a couple quick updates before our leaders come up. Number one, system is working beautifully. Slow down. Take your time. Tell your people to watch the steps first. For those individuals who are confused about our compensation plan, Tony, can you click on that real quick? The Vibe compensation plan. There is a lot of income inside this compensation plan. I did make a video, a very detailed video, and I have an 18-minute video. We focus on customers and we focus on our IBOs. We are customer heavy, so there are going to be people who come over here and want to just be elevates or pros or legends. So I do want you, Tony, because there was something that came up in the leadership group. Remember, guys, IBOs, if you uncheck the IBO box, you are a customer. We love our customers, but it means that you're getting paid like an affiliate. You only have one level of pay if you're a customer. If you pay the $9.99, this is for founders right now. So for those individuals who get in now, you get to kind of lock in at this very low IBO fee because the enrollment fee is waived. This allows you to be commissionable on multiple levels. Tony, if you wouldn't mind clicking that. I guess I could have clicked it myself. One thing you guys, I want you to understand is we pay our customers on one level, on customer sales. So if a customer comes in and I sign up Abigail and Abigail wants to be a customer and she goes and signs up Howard and Howard wants to be a customer and he buys a customer product, Abigail can make some income on that. But as a Vibe partner, I can make income on two levels. Customers make income on one level. Now, if Abigail goes and signs up Howard and Howard decides that he wants to be a VP, the only thing is that Abigail doesn't get paid on business partners because she's not a business partner. Okay. I really want you guys to watch my video and read this. If you go to the next screen, Tony, or I could actually bring it up myself. You want me to bring it up so you don't have to click for me and be Vanna?
I was in the other window trying to find the window and making it small for you. I'm good.
Are you sure? I could do it.
Yeah. No, you do whichever you want. It's fine. You're good.
You know,
We're all good.
I updated my laptop, so I'm kind of having a,
What?
I know. So
I was like, wait a second.
I'm trying to figure this thing out since it's updated.
It's okay.
Okay.
Look at you go.
So really quickly, because I want, because we have multiple languages on here, and then I'm going to bring up our guest speakers, but I wanted to spend this first like 5 minutes. On Wednesday, we're going to be going over this compensation plan. I'm also Wealth Wednesday. We were going to do some sports things, but we're going to shift that because this is most important right now. Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, we're doing Wealth Wednesday. Thursday, we're doing $1,000 Thursday, where we're going to focus on this compensation plan. So I need you guys to make sure you have all your people on there because it's super important that you understand how much income is really in this compensation plan. You also need to understand why we pay more on customers, right? Up front, because we are customer, that's our heartbeat. This gives you guys an opportunity to bring people into Vibe who never want to do MLM. They don't want to work the business. Doesn't matter how much you tell them they can make money. They do not want to be in networking, right? They just want to utilize the product. So guess what? We're going to pay you a lot, right? We're going to pay you more than a Vibe partner on the fast start bonus. Do you know why? Because you don't make money on check matches from customers. So Vibe is actually doing you a huge favor. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat, guys, right? And we have multiple languages on here, so I know that things get lost in translation. Understand what we've done. You have to understand, as the owner of this company, myself, Reagan as the owner, and Andre as the owner, and we've been in networking before. We've been in network marketing, and we understand how much money companies make in network marketing. We don't want to look like them. We want to pay you what you're worth. We want to make sure that you understand that there is no shortcutting our VPs, right? So vice our vibe partners, listen, if you meet somebody and they are network marketing, opposed to it, don't talk to them about it. We have a great product in our Elevate, our Pro, and our Legend. Bring them in as a legend because they want to market their business, but they don't care about making matrix money or legacy network money. So we're going to pay you more on customers up front. Why? Because you don't get paid the matrix pay. I'm sorry, you don't get paid check matches. So I want you guys to watch the video because it's very clear. Okay. If you bring in a customer, you could bring in 10 customers and $3 is going to go to you times 10, plus it's going to roll up to 9 people above you. But let's say that customer said, okay, I don't want to be a customer. I want to be a Vibe partner. They would actually fall into the tree. Customers don't fall in the tree. So if that Vibe partner falls in, they may fall in on your 11th level. Well, you get paid through 10 levels. So I just want you guys to join class tomorrow. Bring your questions. Okay. Greg said, why is Tony not an owner? She's the COO, right? So we got a whole corporate team over here. We all work together. So thanks, Gregory, for asking that. She is pretty much everybody who's over here. You're the owner, Gregory. You're the CEO of your own business. So, what I want you guys to understand is you need to come with your notebooks on Wednesday. If you want to be a legend, type legend in the chat, but you have to bring your legend mentality, right? So, let me put my face on the screen cuz I'm going to stop right here. You got to bring on Wednesday on Wednesday and Thursday, you have to bring your legend mentality because we're about to run hard for 90 days. And anybody who knows me, I will not slow down. So lace up your tennis shoes and get ready to run, right? We're not slowing down. We've spent the last 160 days getting people's minds right. I've traveled all over the country so far on my own dime, pretty much flying here and there and meeting leaders and checking people's temperatures and really seeing who has what it takes to take this company to the next level. Because I always tell people this, if I were actually a VP in this company, I would be at the top of the comp plan. You know why? Because I don't need my sponsor. I don't need a sponsor. I'm going to run as hard as I possibly can. I just need the playbook. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys got my playbook that I posted in the Telegram. I know I can be a little extra, but I can't help it. There's too many lives to be changed. There's too many people who say they want to go to the next level. But do you really? Are you really willing to, number one, do what it takes to get there, which is leaders or readers? Homework for all of you guys, right? I know Jason and Justin don't like the word homework, but as a former teacher, this is work you need to do off of this call at home. I need you guys to read the playbook. I need you to watch my 18-minute video over the compensation plan. And I need you to watch it again if you don't get it, and watch it again if you don't get it, and bring me your questions. Because on Wednesday and Thursday, we go to class. By Friday, moving into Sunday, 90 days starts. Credit cards are here. Pre-launch is about to end. Vibe is about to begin. I'm running with leaders, right? Leaders are readers and note takers are money makers. So, Tony, do you want to add anything else before we bring up our guest? Now that I've been just jump right in. I'm so excited. And I'm like, I really wish that I was like a VP in this company because I would run past my sponsor like they were in reverse. Right?
Right.
It
I
is
mean,
amazing.
so 1 second, let me click this. All right. So, yes, I wanted to make sure our co-hosts were set. Listen, really quickly, if you can see the captions, put a 1 in the chat. I was messing with the captions where you were talking, Megan. I think they're there. Either way,
I can't.
backing up. I know that y'all, I come in and I'm like the plane that's like, listen to me, but listen to me. Do not push buttons more than one time. Do not push the pay button more than one time, please. And also, if you're getting an error, I promise you, I've been working on it. Megan's been there. The support team's been working on it. The errors are 100,000,000,000% user at this point, except for one, and that is caused by you pushing the back button. If you see a white screen with a blue button, send a support ticket that has to be fixed on our end because you pushed a back button in the payment process, which you weren't supposed to do. Please don't do it. And that was it. But thank you. That's all, Megan.
All
Now
right.
for the fun.
On to the fun, right? On to the fun. So guys, listen, we are in go mode and we've been awake, for a long time. We've been awake. We're excited. Our educators are excited. Our one thing I do want you guys to know is onboarding. Okay, we're going to talk about that this week as well because a lot of people want to know, well, if I want to create for Vibe, what do I need to do? If I want to create courses, what do I need to do? That is something, guys, when we officially start, you're going to know exactly what to do because there's going to be a welcome video. There's going to be a video telling you exactly what to do when you officially come through the doors, right? So a lot of people have already started. They've already started thinking about their content. They've already started working on their just videos and those types of things. I always use Jerome as an example because he has like 3 courses already that he's been working on for these last 100+ days. But I want you guys to know that when your 30 days officially starts, when your membership officially starts, because we're still in pre-launch, you're going to know exactly what to do so that you can go from I have a course idea to putting the course over inside of Vibe. We're going to walk you through the entire platform because you can't really see anything right now. When you log into your back office, you can only see what we want you to see because we haven't officially launched yet. But that is finally coming up, right? Last thing I want you guys to do is make sure that you go into your back office and wake up your people. That's your check match. You have to wake them up. We are going to be sending them messages as well, but we're going to leave without them because nothing motivates people like money. All right, would you guys agree? The more we wait for people to wake up, nothing motivates people like the moolah. So they'll have to miss out and then they'll have to just catch up to us, right? So I'm excited to move forward. So I want to go ahead and kind of get out of the way for just a second because today is Tech Tuesday and I want you guys to grab your notebooks and take some notes. I do want to introduce um 2 individuals to the call and um you met one last week and you guys were blown away, obviously, right? You met him last week and I am going to allow them to kind of introduce themselves as well. You got a chance to meet Barnaby, right? And Barnaby, you were a hit. Let me add your spotlight on here. You got a chance to meet Barnaby. You are going to get a chance to meet one of our new members to our team today as well. And I mean, you should see the laundry list of of just who these individuals are. So I'm going to actually allow them to introduce themselves because Barnaby, you could do it better. And then I also want to bring up our newest member, Jamar. Are you out there, sir? You'll have to turn. Yes. Right? I don't even know how we got these 2 gentlemen on the same call. You guys have no idea. This is like crypto AI for this is royalty here. So I'm just excited. Let me add you to the list and I'm going to fade to the back. I'm not even spotlighting myself because because I'm not worthy, right? But I want you guys, if you would, just to introduce yourself and Barnaby. I know you were here last week, but a lot of people are new as well and kind of run your credentials. And then I'm going to jump over to Jamar James, who I'm so excited to have on this platform as well. So I'm going to get out of the way. Barnaby, would you like to go first?
Yeah, thanks so much, Megan. It's great to be here with everybody. Great to meet you, Jamar. Yeah, I'm just super pumped how Vibe is really vibing now. Like it's opened up the floodgates, and it was great to be with you all last week. I've been working with Megan, especially around Vibe, for about the last 6 months since she first explained it to me, and that's how we were able to essentially do the JV, the joint venture between my platform, Fire, Crypto is Fire, and basically making the educational platform I've built and bringing in education from my background, which is all about tech, as you were hearing, and about crypto and blockchain, and making it available to the community over here in Vibe. So we have a joint, very dear friend who linked us all up together, James Wiggins. He's extraordinary, and so he may be on the call today as well. So that's how I was able to be fortunate enough to have meet Megan, and she was been around my educational system for almost the last 2 years or so. So that's been really great. Gradually getting to know Megan, and especially in the last 6 months, and I'm just seeing it all come to fruition. And so, why would she have reached out to me? What's my background? That's this quick little introduction I'm doing because we really want to make it about you guys and what you can do. But I come from a deep geek tech background going back over 30 years. You might hear I have an accent. I come from Australia, and I basically was the first web design firm in Australia back in the early mid 90s. And so I've basically been involved in e-commerce, which was really my passion, and for over 30 years. And my real vision inside of that was I always wanted to have a laptop and be able to go and work anywhere in the world on a beach. And I wanted to show other people how to do that too. How many people on the call today would love that opportunity just to be able to go and be anywhere in the world and even be able to maybe even move around, go and spend time with your family, how you'd like to, and then go and live on somewhere, and guess what, folks? It's never been easier. But let me tell you, back in the 90s, when I saw that coming, it was pre-internet and nobody believed me. They said that that wasn't even possible. I spent my whole career, there was no study that I could do at university. When I was at uni, my whole career I spent the last 30 plus years doing didn't even exist. So I really have kept on growing with tech, and there's been so many iterations from the e-commerce, from the web into social media, into app development, and eventually, yes, into blockchain and crypto, and now the biggest iteration being AI. And I've been there developing tech at each stage of the way. And what I've always seen as the bottleneck at every step where people couldn't pick it up, what I was showing them, it was all to do with education. Education is the key, and it is what holds people back. It's a lack of understanding, and it's not their fault because guess what? It's too darn complex. That's the issue. And so, what we're doing here is figuring out a way to deliver and make this as easy as possible. And we're just getting started. And I really want to show you how I've walked my talk because when I sold my tech company in 2010 in Australia, I literally fulfilled my dream. And I spent more than the last dozen years traveling all over the world, living in dozens of countries, visiting maybe 40 or 50 of them. And I literally fulfilled upon my vision that I had back in the 90s, where in between then and there, yeah, I raised a family. How many people got kids? I was right there. And it wasn't so easy. So I did do my time in Australia, raising my family. But when that finished, when my daughter finished high school and went on to have her PhD, etc. I spent the last dozen years, finding my favorite spots in the world. I love living in Bali. I love living in Thailand. I love living in different parts of America. So that's what I've been doing. I basically want to show you that, yes, this really is possible with tech, only because of tech. Can you actually fulfill upon those dreams? And I've been fortunate enough to go and educate thousands of people around the world at audiences, being invited to go and speak at Harvard, at Stanford, even at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The list goes there. I've had a big time for the last couple of decades. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm only just getting started. So that's my intro on myself, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you guys. Back over to you, Megan and Jamar.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much for sharing the information. Yeah, I'm excited that you're just getting started and you've been in the game for 33 years. And now we're finally getting to partner together. And that makes me so very excited. So thank you. And I'm going to have some questions for you guys where we'll do kind of this back and forth. But I want to pass it over to Jamar. And Jamar, I'm excited because I was sitting in a office and we were there for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, what is Jamar doing? I absolutely loved listening to you. And this was like years ago when I stalked you and I stalked Courtney back in 2019. So just getting a chance to be able to work with you on this level and the team be able to experience who you really are is amazing. So Jamar, if you wouldn't mind, you're muted right now, I think, but if you can just share, I got a laundry list of credentials for you as well. So you have the floor. I want you guys to brag on yourself because people need to know who you guys really are, which gives me credibility and gives Reagan and Dre credibility too, that we have this type of caliber of educators with us. So Jamar, the floor is yours. You're muted. Jamar. He's muted. He doesn't know it.
Jamar, you're muted. It's on your phone. There you are.
Okay, I'm here.
Yep, you're there.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for the opportunity, and thank you, Megan, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. And you know, I've been in hiding. Part of my thing is anti-corporate, but I have a background in computer science. I'm an entrepreneur. I had a real estate company that sold. Actually sold a tech company to Allergan, and I got into trading back in 2009. And since then, I kind of went anti-corporate and developed a mastermind lifestyle group. And really, the goal was to empower people to be able to trade the markets independently. And, I believe the markets are manipulated. I believe that they want control of our finances and the control of our lives. And so for me, it was a desire to help people have an alternative way. And through trading, I think it provides some hope where they can one day take control. There's no racism, colorism, ageism, sexism. When you're in the markets, you have full opportunity. And, with my background being computer science, I've always used technology in trading. But with the, introduction of AI, it's totally empowered the traders that I have inside the mastermind, where it's giving them like technical analysis on steroids. And, I have traders that are Forex traders, option traders, future traders, and crypto traders. In 2017, my focus was crypto, and I built a pretty big following in the crypto space. And as it evolved and as the government has gotten control, our traders have been able to go to different markets and trade options and stocks. And I've created a system with AI to actually educate and train traders a lot faster, where they're able to use technical analysis and risk management and actually have more clarity and confidence using AI to trade. And so we apply this, I call it a 360 program, where you should be able to trade any assets because the information is there, the intelligence of explaining the market and seeing the order flow. Before, we had to pay for a lot of tools and information and data that we didn't have available to us. But now with AI, you can actually request that information. So to understand the fundamental of trading, it applies to all markets. And this is something that, I'm passionate about because it allowed me to, right now I'm in Las Vegas. I'm at the Bitcoin conference in a hotel, and I trade live every morning. And you guys are able to follow, and we're able to share, how we're using the tools. And I like to say, we don't gatekeep the information. And this information is empowering as you see it live. So instead of just trading and giving videos, I like to say that we like to demonstrate it in execution. There's a lot of information out in the world. Information is everywhere. You have it on Google and YouTube, but a lot of people don't know how to implement and execute when they get the information. And that's kind of our focus in all the markets. And to be able to determine within 5 or 10 minutes, the direction of the market and feel confident about it. So I know we've had trading rehab. That's something that Zia and Courtney and I think, Megan, we invited you years ago, which was to actually have traders in the room and do it in person. And so, that's something that I've been passionate about in the last few years, of having actually live trading events, getting guys together, because I believe in community. I believe real wealth is relationships. And it is, once you have the knowledge and you have relationships, you have a ton of wealth, because we're all here. The money is just transferred from one person to the next when we expire, but the relationships and the power of community, it spreads. And I think that is, the things I'm really passionate about is each one can teach one, and we can keep spreading this wealth, information, and also life experience. So the things that we do in AI and trading is really to enhance the experience of life. I haven't worked in a corporation or for the last 20 years. And it is, empowering to navigate, life in the semi-retirement. I take 2 hours, 3 hours every morning to trade. It is lifestyle. I don't feel like it's work. I'll be in Vegas for the next 3 or 4 days, and then I'm going to Thursday flight with my daughter to go see the World Series softball. And, it gives us, it's really empowering to spend time with the family. And I think that's how you change the world, is the more that we can spend time with people, raise our family, we make the world a better place. And one of the things we need is resources. And, for me, I've taken trading as my vehicle to empower and have more freedom. And I want to share that, what we do through AI on this platform, and, let other people experience this as well. And so on that note, that is my story, and what I'm passionate about, and what I plan to bring is AI education and AI information and trading, and how to actually apply it and implement it as a new trader or experienced trader. To enhance what you're doing to, make it faster.
Well, and keyword, everybody talks about, speed, like they want to make the money. So I want to jump in and just ask you guys some questions, because I know it's 1:41 on here. You're in Vegas. I know Barnaby, you're doing a million things as well. We got a lot of projects going on, but I just want to dive into some questions. And if you guys can I do this thing called rapid fire. I do it with the group where I'm going to ask you a question. I'm giving you like 45 seconds to a minute, right? And to try to answer this question, is because we can be on here all day, and we just want to give people a taste. So there's 490 people on here. Our focus, guys, is not to get on here and you're going to learn everything. It's to wet your whistle. Okay. It's to show you what's going to be possible. But as an educator, ladies and gentlemen, we have Zia, which you guys are going to hear from later on this week. She's our director of education. She did a podcast with Jamar. And Jamar, that's what got me thinking. I listened to that podcast with you, our director of education, and then Courtney Logan, which you guys heard from. And I'm like, can we get him? Do you think he'll come over? And so my question for both of you guys, you have about 45 seconds to a minute. In your opinion, right? We have a large organization of people who are baby boomers, maybe not tech savvy, maybe scared of crypto, don't know how to get their wallets, not that I'm beating you guys up on this call, but you don't, right? They don't know the basics. Just getting them to even get a wallet was kind of a challenge. In your opinion, how is knowledge of crypto and AI going to create a new class of entrepreneurs? Like, why is this the best time for everybody to learn, not just the 18-year-olds, but the 88-year-olds as well? Who wants to go first? You got like 45 seconds to a minute. Why do you think it's the best time for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge transition, and there's a lot of fear out there, and it creates opportunity and adapting. The world's going to move, without you or with you. You have a choice. And I think, the first step is, once you embrace that, everything changes, and nothing will change for you unless you change. And so AI is an opportunity for you to actually expedite the change. And it doesn't matter if you are timid. It's the same thing with social media and Facebook. It was a time that people were resistant and saying, "Oh, social media," and now everyone is on it. Same thing with Zoom meetings. The technology brings us a lot of opportunity. When we think about how many people are on this call now, everyone is using some type of information. Well, when you have it at your fingertips, you also have the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life, I like to say. And whatever question you have access to the answer. And so I believe that, if you experience any pain and you have a desire to spend more time with your kids, to make more money, you embrace the information and you will be making progress. And that's kind of my take in 45 seconds.
I love that. Write that in the chat, guys, because I'm going to make you take notes. I want to see it. Embrace, you really have to embrace the knowledge. I told people when they do go into these classes, don't go into a class with, oh my God, I have no idea what they're talking about. I always go into a class saying, man, I have no idea what they're talking about, which means I'm learning and I'm taking notes. So you guys embrace the knowledge. What do you think, Barnaby? Right? Why is it now the best time to learn?
Well, a couple of things. Firstly, it's always the best time to learn, right? Always, no matter what year it is and no matter what's going on. But just jumping back to, there's a few things that Jamar said that were really great. Back when he gave his intro, one of them was that just like with trading, where there's no differentiator, when you're making those moves in the markets, it's not checking, how old you are, or what race you are or gender. None of that matters. And it's the same with tech. And now, thanks to AI, I mean, I've basically been waiting for AI all my life. I didn't quite realize that was the case, but I spent the last 2 years building out Seafire, my crypto educational academy, because I really wanted to scale. I never wanted to be the one who was going to be called upon, 24/7, every day of the week, people asking questions. I wanted to make that digital twin of myself, but I couldn't until this last year. So only right now has this seismic change suddenly happened where, guess what? There are people who are launching there's so many ways to make money with tech, and especially with AI now. People are launching entire YouTube channels with, deep fakes or AI versions of themselves. Or guess what? If they want to pick a target market and they want to sell jewelry to young people, but they're a guy like me, they can basically create an avatar. You can use AI now, or they might want to do market research in ways like what Jamar was saying before, where the market data wasn't even available before. Basically, a huge amount of opportunity that was just never available before has suddenly landed in all of our laps. And the CEO, the guy who's fronting and running OpenAI, ChatGPT, the biggest AI company in the world, basically Sam Altman, he literally said in the last 6 months that very soon, in the next year or two, there will be the first $1 billion+ company that is run, this is going to freak everybody out, run by one person with a massive AI army of 10,000 bots. So we are approaching the scale of automation, folks. And as Jamar said, you can join this train. We can rail against the storm, but nothing's going to stop this. And so what are you going to do? You're going to be a Luddite, or are you going to join us?
I love that. It reminds me of just a lot of the books that I was teaching to my high school students. And, one of those books, it was Fahrenheit 451, where they didn't want anybody to read and they didn't want any technology. And they wanted everybody to kind of just veg out in one place. And, anybody who was a big thinker was kicked out of that society, basically. And I say that because Vibe, guys, is less of a network marketing company. I keep telling people this, and it's more of like a financial technology company. That's what we are. It's a education highway. And I spent 17 years of my life teaching archaic information to one of the best high schools in the nation, but we were teaching archaic information. We were not jumping in with the times. So what we're going to do, guys, is not be afraid of the knowledge. We're going to embrace it, like Jamar said. We're going to get on the train, or we're going to get left behind. I mean, that's just basically what it boils down to. So what are some common mistakes, guys? And again, if you can answer this question in your 45 second to a minute, what are some common mistakes people make when trying to jump into like tech industries or into crypto or AI without proper mentorship that Vibe is going to bring to them? Because I don't know everything, but Jamar, you're going to the World Series. Barnaby, you've traveled the world. That's something that I still aspire to do. And you've done it based on the knowledge that you've embraced in this AI crypto tech world. So what are some of those common mistakes that you see people, you know?
Um, I mean, I like to say that, anything that you're learning, especially in the trading space, a lot of people jump to the outcome. They want the money without having the fundamentals and the foundation. So, like for me, I think of anything that you're getting involved in, it has three stages. One is the foundation, the fundamentals. The second is strategy and clarity. And the third, it becomes lifestyle.
Okay,
So a
so
lot of
let's say
times
that one
people
more
want to
time.
live.
Say that one more time. So
Third is lifestyle. The first stage is the fundamentals and the foundation, right? It's almost like you building a house. You need to have the game plan. You need to have the blueprint. And then you get the materials and, you got the strategy and you get clarity. And that's the second stage is strategy and clarity. How do you apply this? How do you put it together? And then the third, it becomes lifestyle. How do you, intertwine it into your life? But, a lot of guys, they skip the first step. You give them a book and they read the first chapter and they skip the rest of it, then they know what the book is about. And then they go into actually, building and trying to use it when they didn't get the full picture. And so here we want to lay down the foundation and the fundamentals of AI and the trading. And this way you can actually apply it. And then you have strategy. And as you get clarity, you get confident. And then you have belief. It's hard to do anything if you don't have belief and you have a lot of doubt. Right. And so you lay down the foundation, you get that solid foundation where you know that it's possible. And then you see someone do it and you see the results. And then that allows you to continue to build. And then you turn it into a lifestyle. And so for me, there's no such thing as retirement. There's no such thing as passive income. I'm actively involved in life every day. And so my retirement is already here. I work from anywhere in the world now, and I trade from anywhere in the world. And I do it live, and then I also get off and I also live live, and I'm here with traders now. So they see the lifestyle, they see the strategy, and they see the fundamentals of what we do and how we use it on a daily basis. And that, I think that is the key, is don't skip the fundamentals or the foundation of anything that you're doing. You got to build, you want to build on a solid foundation.
And I love that because we have our personal development coaches that are going to be jumping in. And my personal development coach myself, Jason Wells, was a professional basketball player, but we talk a lot about fundamentals. Everybody wants the funds. They want the funds without the fundamentals, or they want the fun without the foundation. And it's the same thing in network marketing. It's like people want to jump to making all this money and they haven't gotten to the stage where they've just learned the basics of being an influencer or the basics of doing a three-way call, just basic stuff on that end. So thank you, Jamar. I love that, because that's what we're really going to be focusing on for this first year of people being in Vibe. Is we're not in a hurry. Right? We're going to grow with the technology, but we're going to focus on the foundation and fundamentals. So Barnaby, same question for you, just do you see any other, common mistakes people make when they're just trying to jump in too fast, or, without kind of the proper mentorship?
Yeah, there's obviously so many, little and big mistakes that people can make. But I'd say one of them is thinking that, it's all only difficult for you, So literally taking a deep breath, and it's a strange thing to think that, is it possible that most people, if not all, actually experience fear about learning something new? And so here I am with my 30 plus years in tech as an entrepreneur. And when I embrace something new, as in like maybe some new system, a platform, building something, some programming language, or a different method of whatever it is, I still experience that. So I have to get myself over that hump. And so I just want to let everybody know that, we share this together, and it does take pushing yourself. And so if you want to stretch, it's a stretch, it's like going to the gym. And so you're not alone in that fear potentially. And inside of that is this other story that you might tell yourself, another mistake. Part of that is that you have to do extra prep before you get started. Like thinking like, oh, I'm going to need to go and do, go and study over here for a year before I even get started. Or I have to do so many hours before I even start. Not necessarily. And with a lot of this stuff, yes, it is very important to lay the foundation and do some prep. Let's say with paper trading, or just learning learning with small amounts of money. You don't have to put in $1,000 or $10,000. You know, a lot of this stuff you can start either with just paper trading or just or even like $50 just to test it out. Like in DeFi, what I'm teaching, you don't have to put in the big money. So you don't have to do all this massive prep, and you can start very small, understanding that whatever you're doing is the learning mechanism you want to prove to yourself, because the number one thing inside of that, and Jamar pointed to it, is getting wins. You got to get the wins, under your belt, because winning is a habit. You have to develop the habit of winning again and again, because if you don't have that, as Jamar mentioned, you lose that confidence, and everything in life is about confidence.
Thank you, Jamar, for saying that too, and Barnaby for touching on that, because if you can't make money with a little, don't need to put a lot in. Where were you guys back in 2021 where I just was like, I'm diving right into this thing? And that's why I tell people I'm a spiritually minded person, but I don't join crypto network marketing companies. Listen, there's 480 of you guys on here. You can do what you want. Do not bring me necessarily a company where I just have to blindly give somebody else my money, right? I know we have our app that we're rolling out because we're connecting with Omni, but people are still in control of their own money. Barnaby, I know that you are introduced to a lot of platforms, and this is where people are going to be able to sit in your class, Barnaby, sit in your class, Jamar, and be able to chat with you guys and ask questions, because you guys are going to be educating over here. Because I needed you a couple years ago when I lost a sizable amount of income.
Right.
And now looking back though, Jamar, I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? And it really was, I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to, like greed sets in where it's like, oh, I got a little bit more, so I'm just going to jump in.
Yeah.
And we got to really ask the right questions. So can you guys give me a real life example of someone who experienced like a major breakthrough, maybe being connected to you, Jamar? I know you've been teaching forever and you're living life and teaching.
Yeah.
You've been teaching forever and living life. Can you give me like maybe financial or applying what you guys have learned?
Yeah, I mean, my goal is to break people free from their corporate job. I mean, the 9 to 5s. I mean, I have people here in Vegas with me now. They've all left their job, and I tell them that it's not a overnight thing. It's a process, and it's about consistency. And so, like, people have good, like, you can get lucky for a couple of weeks, or you can get lucky, in life, and you can get, but they have consistency. Right. It takes time, it takes discipline and focus. And so to live a lifestyle, you have to have belief that, I have belief that I can get my accounts frozen. I've had that definitely with the IRS, had a real estate company, agents filed, and they said they were an employees. The IRS froze my funds, and that's what got me into crypto. And it got me into crypto because I wanted an alternative. I wanted a plan B. I wanted a way that I had ownership of my funds. I mean, we spend so much time working for money, and we sacrifice a lot, and we have to value it, and we have to take ownership. And so the people that work with me, I say, take ownership of the knowledge, make it yours. The information I give them, they make it theirs, and so they're independent. And so whether I'm here or not, they still should be able to produce. And so that's one of the goals, is that two people can have different opinions and still both be right. Right, one person can go long in the market, one person can go short, and they both can win. And so once you have the vision, and once you see it, and once you know it's possible for yourself, and they built up their account. You take a small account, make it bigger, and you don't all of a sudden start trading bigger. You start saying that, hey, now it bought me more time. I have enough money where I can leave my job and now have more time, and now I have more decisions I can make to put myself in a better situation. Because some people, they come to you out of survival, and they're friends with you because they're surviving, right? And they need you for survival. Well, I want a bunch of people that's around because they're thriving. And this is where it takes them a transition to go from surviving to thriving. Most people that have a job, they don't have any hope. They know that they're going to be there. They don't have any options, and they're going to just work that job, and they're going to be happy with it. And other people are going to say, hey, I want to thrive and I want to do something more. So the extra time I have after I'm done working the 9 to 5, I'm going to invest 2 or 3 hours in my knowledge and myself. And this is going to allow me to do the things I really want to do. And I don't have to be stuck here. And that is the transition of, hey, I put the time in, I deserve to win. I deserve it because I put the time in, I went through the stages, I built the foundation, I transitioned, not overnight. It took me 6 months, 7 months to leave a job I've been working at for 12 years. It took me a year or two to transition, and now I never have to go back. And that is the thing that, when guys come in, I say, don't believe one person. When you come in an environment, ask the people around. And I tell them, you don't have to believe me. Just go talk to the people that worked with me. And this is how you get clarification and validation, because you don't have to trust one person. If there's proof, there's multiple people.
No,
So that's the thing is that, I look for transformation, not just transactions.
I love it. I dropping bars. You guys are going to definitely go back and listen to this. Everybody type education in the chat, because someone had asked me, and Barnaby, I'm going to ask you the same question. But someone had said, well, I really don't see any big difference. They have crypto and they have Forex, but they haven't been on any of our calls. And I'm like, the difference is we're not over here selling an overnight dream. And a lot of companies that have popped up, because I've been a part of those companies in the Forex and crypto space, it's all the get rich quick. You're selling everybody on come in and you could just make the money right away. That's when you know that that's probably the program you want to run from, because we're focused on the long term. We're focused on getting the education and having real people to talk to who really have our best interests at heart. You guys are not over here just trying to sell a dream to somebody. The only reason why you're over here, because you don't need to be over here. You don't need the money from Vibe. You're taking your time out, but you see the bigger picture that there are people who do want to get educated. So thank you for mentioning that, Jamar. The consistency and the education is what's going to be most important. So Barnaby, same question for you. Just, do you have someone in the space that's been with you that has experienced kind of that financial breakthrough by applying what they've learned from you or just this industry?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I guess across my whole 30 years, I've been building tech and educating at different phases where I was doing massive educational programs. I was actually igniting people's passion in different areas. Some people became, they really blew up in social media because of the classes that they came to of mine. And others did it in actually just in working with tech themselves. And they were able to basically just work from home. They wanted to be able to, people that across multiple decades with me have changed their whole careers around. And more recently, if you go to the CFire, the cryptoisfire.ai website, you'll see the video testimonials of people. It was really gratifying in the last year having whole families where they didn't have to go to work anymore. They were able to live off the DeFi. So and just touching upon that, like the DeFi, which is decentralized finance, and the yield generating that you can get off that. People earning over $100 a day just off that DeFi where there was no trading at all. And I'll touch upon where Jamar mentioned, how both people can be saying something very different and both still be right. And so, yeah, even though in the CFire, we do have a whole trading component, we can go and learn trading, but we also have in there a crypto wealth profile where you can actually do a personality test. Because guess what? Sadly, most people aren't cut out to be traders, and it's still a pivotal skill. I always say to everybody, two of the key skills that you want to learn is sales and how to read charts. You really want to get they're very different skills. But if you can learn those two things in life, if you talk to a young person, a teen, or in their 20s, yeah, see if you can learn sales and see if you can learn reading charts. But just because you learn to read the charts, that doesn't have to make you a trader. Because most people, it's a roller coaster. And so that's why I've built, while trading is part of CFire, I've really pushed it for the DeFi, where it's a sort of a very minimal 5 to 10 minutes a day, where you don't have to be doing the full analysis and getting in and out of trades, because that doesn't suit everybody. And that's why I added in the crypto wealth profiling, where you can do a test and see. But given that, it is still good to give it a go. You want to set up multiple streams of income and not just rely upon one person's method, because everything's going to be a bit different. And that's why in Vibe, where you get access to multiple strategies. But again, you don't want to get overwhelmed with doing all of them. So more about that later. So back over to you, Megan.
I love what you guys are saying. I do have one more question for you because I know you're in Vegas, Jamar, and I know we're coming back here tonight. We're going to get a chance to meet a young lady who is in the AI Silicon Valley space that we're excited about. And I don't know if you guys are coming back. I always have you back, right, at 8 o'clock tonight. But I know everybody's doing stuff too. But my question for you guys, my last question, why do you believe though that platforms like Vibe are important for people who, feel or have felt left behind, or they're intimidated by tech, or, you know, we have a membership, we have a pro and a legend membership, and I want to throw this out here. Our pro membership is $159 a month. And $249 a month. But this is one piece, right? We have 7 pathways, and we have an education pathway that has Forex, crypto, sports betting, DeFi. It has personal development. It has a clinical, a young lady who is for a living. Courtney's wife does it for a living, where we can lay on the couch and talk with her and figure out how to get our mental together, because trading is mental as well. And we got to kind of get over a lot of different things in our lives. But I know that you guys have, Jamar, charged way more than $159 a month to be connected to
Right.
you, or Barnaby. And I don't want to always make it about the money, but it's about the value that we've created. We've put the best of the best all in one place. So I want to throw that out there. But why, at this stage in you guys' career, do you connect with a platform like Vibe, that on the outside it looks like a network marketing company, but on the inside it's really an ecosystem for thriving, not surviving, right? I say it all the time. So why though at this stage do you stop to educate, in a
Um,
community like
I
Vibe?
mean, I'm just gonna say something. I'm gonna hop in here. I grew up in Oakland, and that was a place of survival. And I tell people every day, the best friends I ever had to pay for, and I had to buy. Right, I had to buy a different environment. I had to buy into environments that gave me new insight. And I had a mentor one time, and he charged me 50% of everything I made for the entire year. And I was in real estate, but he charged me on everything that I got in my bank account, 50%. And that was the best investment I ever made. And so the relationships of having access to new people and having access to, I believe relationships is wealth. And so the more people I know, right, and the more people I help, the more I help myself. Because it's almost like when I'm actually teaching, I'm actually also reiterating what I believe. And that belief helps me get to the next level. And it also puts out, you make deposits in everybody you help. And it comes back to you in a variety of different ways. And so to me, having a community and being independent for so long, right, the relationships even become more important. So just the same way you reached out to me, Megan, to give me an opportunity, you see me back in 3, 4, 5 years ago, working with, director of education and Zia and having trading rehab. And it always comes back around. When you add value to people's lives, it comes back to you. And it's almost like a karmic, a law of karma, where, it circles back. And what you put out, you deserve to get back. And so that is, a way of life. It's a belief. And like I say, it's a lifestyle. So the more people you help, the more you help yourself as well. And it kind of sounds selfish, but it's the truth, right? The more people you help, the more people you inspire, the more blessings coming back to you. And so I think a platform like this, even for new people, it also inspires them, so they see the progress. And when they are having a time and they're struggling, and they see someone else that joined when they joined, and they see them elevating, it gives them hope not to give up.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that as well.
Absolutely. And I'm excited because we added trading rehab. It's like a podcast. And when I heard that, this is the world that we live in right now. We live in the world of information. We live in the world where our biggest celebrities are like the what's his name? Kai, I forget what his name is. My son always shows him to me, and he's got 500,000 people listening to him. He's from Haiti, and he's one of the biggest influencers. He has now I'm plugging him, and I'm not getting anything from. He has this streaming university where people want to learn how to be influencers. And the biggest influence is, like you said, Jamar, is our community around us and being able
Right.
to share the knowledge and not gatekeep. So I so appreciate it because I'm sure people have paid you way more than $3,000, right, for your information. And people can be over here for an entire year and get for $1,900 to $3,000 for the whole year when you take our membership. I really want you guys to put that in perspective on here because you guys are on here, but some people may ask you, well, why am I paying $250 a month? For a year, that's $3,000. We will go and pay tens of thousands of dollars to take gym class in college, right? For the first year. I know because my daughter's graduating. And I'm like, why are we paying this much for a gym? Like, why are you taking gym and you're a fashion? But whatever. Don't get me started. But I do want to say, like, I'm grateful that you're not gatekeeping and you want to share. So, Barnaby, same question for you. Like, at this stage in your life, 33 years, you've been in the space since Bitcoin was 20 cents, right? Since you knew about Jamar, I don't know if you heard that story, but Bitcoin was 20 cents
Yeah.
when Barnaby was like, nah.
We all had those stories.
I was at $200 at Bitcoin. I try not to think about it right now because I'm like, I'm not spending $200 on it.
Megan, on that point then, like, so because you see, it's the narrative that we tell ourselves. It's the story that we tell ourselves every day,
Yeah.
each one of us. Why are we even doing what we're doing? And when I reflect upon that one, obviously that was, you'd have to say, surely from one perspective, one of the biggest, if not the biggest mistake of my whole life. Clearly, you could sort of say that. But then you also break it down and you go, well, why was it like that? Why didn't I understand? And I'm very clear. I have the memory very distinctly in my mind in early 2011 when I was that particular day. You'd remember it, right? That morning when you're by yourself in your office and you're checking out, looking at Bitcoin, going to the Bitcoin.org website. I was doing all that early 2011, and so, but what I was looking for was actually still my same passion for today. That's why I'm mentioning this. Because what had me turn down Bitcoin that day in 2011 was that it was why it was the opportunity it was because it had no payment rails. It had no integration into the world of e-commerce, which was my passion. You see, what I wanted to find a way to help all the people around the world be free economically using e-commerce. And Bitcoin back in 2011 couldn't do that function yet. Do you see why I missed it? I was like, but my passion for myself and my mission hasn't changed in 30 years. And so I see that actually I've reinvented that story for myself where I mean I'm going to get a little bit out there where it's actually God's way of showing me how to stay on track. You see,
Right.
in order, if I had bought the 10,000 Bitcoin back in 2011 for like $5,000 and been a billionaire now, what might I have done? You see, firstly, could I have even held it all those 17 years? Maybe not, you see, and who might that have turned me into? So I see it as what it is that's keeping me sharp and on focus for the mission that I've actually been sent here to do. It's not about just being the billionaire that's gone and claimed all the funds. Because let me tell you a quick story. One of the guys I heard about, he was connected to me back in 2011. He was living on somebody's couch. No kidding, on somebody's couch. And he took the $1,000 that he had to his name and just bought all the Bitcoin that he could back in 2011. Well, he had a dream apparently of wanting to save the world. But what did he end up doing? He ended up moving into some country in South America and buying himself a mountain and just hiding from the world. You
Mm.
see? So just because we think that we want to help everybody, do the riches actually, not everybody does that. So that's my way of sort of saying I'm trusting, I'm being guided. And I've had a great adventure and I'm here to keep on delivering the tools that are going to set you free. And that's why I'm part of Vibe, because you're expanding that and I'm staying on track because there is no retirement for me. This is just a one-way street of like, I want to just help everybody get on board because I'm already living the dream. I want to show you how to do the same thing.
I love that. And I thank you for sharing that because it's all perspective. Do me a favor, everybody. Type some words in the chat that you heard these two phenomenal gentlemen say that stood out to you. I know perspective for me. I know consistency, education. Barnaby, I love the story because, I'm still growing. My family's still growing. The biggest fear that myself, my sister, and my two brothers had is that our whole family is inside of this platform. And we know how much education is important because we know how much income is going to roll. So we, as a family, have had multiple calls about who do we bring into the ecosystem to educate our kids, because money can jack up your direction. It can. If and it's not really the money that's doing it, it's the mindset. Like your mind isn't ready yet. And I've said this to my kids, are you even ready to become a millionaire? Right? Because God's going to give you a little bit. I remember when my son was making 20,000 a month as an 18-year-old. Do you give a 18-year-old 20,000 a month plus a Hemi Challenger? Probably not. I can't even be mad at him. He would have done exactly what I did. I went and got a whole bunch of tickets and right. And because you got to grow with it. So this time around, my son is 23, my daughter is 18. We want to make sure that we have the right people to educate them about the finances and the technology. So I am so very grateful for the two of you guys. And as you can see them throwing some words in the chat, awesome. Education, help someone perspective, AI helping. You guys, they're living the dream. So here's where now the ball is in our court. You two are going to be over here inside a Vibe. It's up to everybody else to show up with their notebooks and to be excited about what they don't know. I'm so excited to get into your class and be like, I did not know that. Not go get in there like, oh, this is too hard. I don't understand. I mean, I taught English for God's sake. I was Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare, iambic pentameter. Who cares? Nobody cares about iambic pentameter. You probably don't even know what it is, and you're never going to use it in life. This is the education that I've been so excited for people to learn. So, Barnaby, Jamar, do you have one last word before we hop off this call? Anything you want to tell the people about anything before we hop off?
I'll let you go first. I'm thinking right now.
I think it's basically that it's never too late to start. That's been a bit of a theme today. One little quick story with that is that it's a bit of a reset. Maybe I mentioned it last time as well, where for sure, there are children right now, or let's even say young teens, like a 14-year-old right now, who in less than 10 years is going to be a millionaire in one of these fields, just one of them that Vibe is teaching. Okay. And here you are. You just think about how old you are and how much more smarts actually you have than that 14-year-old. But you know that there will be some of them who will be millionaires in less than a decade. So what's stopping you right now? Because you're already ahead of the game. You're already an adult right now, and they're going to make it, but they're going to make it in the 2030s. Do you have time? No. Let's make it happen right now.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Right now, read The Power of Now. That's one of my favorite books. The Power of Now. Nothing will ever happen in the future. It only happens in the now. Nothing ever will happen in the past. You only have at 2:17 right now is the only time that really exists right now. Time is an illusion. So, Jamar, you want to add anything before we go?
Yeah, I think we have a short amount of time on Earth, and while you're here, I think hanging on our purpose and passion. I think a lot of people they forget the dream and have a purpose and passion. And when it comes to having like money, it's like sometimes I feel if you have a good purpose and passion, you deserve to have it because you're gonna be a good steward of it, and you're gonna do well with it. And so having time and opportunity to create experiences and memories for your family and yourself. I think that is another thing we got to get back to is, enjoying what we do. And, I really love trading. I love, empowering people. And that is something that we all can, hang our hat on and say, hey, I deserve to have success because I'm going to do well with it. And I think that is, something where the education, when you're studying, you're investing in yourself, in your knowledge, in the progress of your people, you want to empower that and say, hey, this is what it's about, giving me more time to do things I'm really passionate about. And I have purpose, whether it's taking care of your family, raising your kids. You know, hold on to that dream of what life is really about for you. It's not just the financial aspect. It's about the experience of doing things you really love and enjoy.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you enjoy Vegas. Go to the Golden Steer for me because I was just in Vegas and that Golden Steer is delicious. Didn't have to wait in line too long either. Have you been there? They have those big, ginormous lobsters and steaks.
Now, the Golden Spear?
The Golden Steer.
Okay.
It's off the strip, and it's look it up on Instagram. We're delicious. But anyways, enjoy the World Series with your daughter. That's what it's all about. That's why we work hard. Barnaby, thank you so much. I know that you are living the dream right now, and we cannot wait to dive into Seafire. It's going to be, guys, on our direct sales side, and I'm sure you guys are going to get a chance to listen to the it's Trading Rehab. Is that right, Jamar? I always get the name wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Trading Rehab.
Yes, it's a podcast, so we're adding it into the ecosystem for you guys inside of the education, so you don't have to pay extra for it or anything. And we got Jamar to come over, so that's great. So, and it's a great, fun time. I had so much fun listening to it, Jamar.
Yeah.
You and
it's a lot of entertainment.
It is. It is. I mean, yeah, you could just, I was laughing and learning, and it was phenomenal. So thank you to the two of you. I'm not quite sure. Are you guys coming back tonight, or is that just Orfana? Whoa.
I'm gonna try. I'm in Vegas. I've been at the Cosmo. I've been hanging out. We live in the time of our life after 5 o'clock.
Oh yeah. So listen, we may not want to see you after that time. So you guys enjoy. I know we have a young lady coming on today who is Silicon Valley AI. So we'll record it. But thank you so much. Have a great time. Be safe out there, Jamar, and we can't wait to be in both of your classes.
Awesome. Thanks everyone.
All right.
Thanks, Jamar.
Thank you guys. See
Thank
ya.
you.